Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another session from Idioma Ricardo Paula. My name is Renato Soron, and this time we are going to learn how to express future consequences using the first conditional. This is the grammar part from lesson 8 that belongs to unit number 8. So now, let's get started. Okay guys, just to start our session today, we are going to begin by playing this game. What I want you to do here is to guess the animal while I am taking out all of these squares one by one. If you identify the animal before I finish disappearing all of them, you can tell me. Alright guys, are you ready? Yes? Great, let's begin. By the way, this is a big white animal, huh? What about now? Have you identified the animal? No? Okay, let's continue. Let me tell you that this species lives in the Arctic. How about now? Have you already recognized the animal? No? Okay, let's continue. Great! We are talking about here, guys, the famous polar bear. Nice job. Very good. Okay. Now, you know that this species is going through a lot of different environmental issues. This animal is facing different threats. One of them is called global warming. You know that this problem is affecting seriously its habitat. Not only this environmental issue, but also oil exploration caused by different businesses, companies that want to extract oil from the sea. Another problem that this animal is dealing with is poaching. You know that the only thing that hunters want to get from these species is their fur. Why? Because their fur is used for making expensive clothes. Hmm? Okay, so all in all, you see guys that this poor animal, this adorable animal, is facing a lot of environmental issues. So we can say that this animal is an endangered species. So all of these problems are going to cause this animal look like this. That is not adorable anymore, right? So that's the reason why we are going, guys, to focus on results in this grammar part. No? We are going to take a look at some consequences, some, let's say, positive results, negative results that we may have from different situations. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, guys. Now, you must recognize this environmental issue from the previous slide. What is it? Great, yes, global warming. Now, as I told you before, global warming is one serious environmental problem that it's affecting this animal's habitat. It is causing ice melting, like in this picture. Okay, so we can say if polar bears lose their habitat, they will be extinct. They will disappear. Now, let's start analyzing, guys, this sentence over here. Let's take a look first at this clause. If polar bears lose their habitat. What tense are we using here? Is it the present simple? Is it the present continuous? Is it the present perfect? What is the grammar tense, guys? Well done. Yes, we are talking about the present simple here. We are using the present simple in this clause. Now, let's continue analyzing. In this clause, in this present simple clause, we have the word if and the condition. Okay. What about the other clause? They will be extinct. What grammar tense are we using here? Are we using the simple past? Are we using the future simple? Are we using the past perfect? Well done. Correct. We are using the future simple. Will or be going to. Or it can be its negative form too. No, will not or be not going to plus the verb in the base form for sure. Okay, here in this future simple clause, what we have, guys, is the result. Okay, so take a look. We have here, in other words, the if clause, which is the condition where we utilize the present simple, and then we have the other clause, which is called the main clause, in other words, the result, where we use the future simple. Will or be going to. Okay, and then you notice, guys, the use of a comma, right? Okay, sure. The use of a comma here is obligatory because we have the if clause first and then the main clause. Okay, guys, so what are we doing here? We are actually using the first conditional. So every time you have the if clause, the condition, and then you have the main clause, the result, in which you use the present simple and the future simple respectively, then we are using the first conditional. But you must be wondering, guys, why do we use the first conditional? Okay, the answer is simple. The first conditional, as you can see here, is used to express a real or very probable situation in the future if the condition takes place. That's the reason why we had this sentence. No? If polar bears lose their habitat, what is, let's say, the most probable situation, the most probable result, the most probable consequence? They will be extinct. Okay, so that's the reason why we apply here the first conditional. Alright, guys, having checked the previous information, now let's have some practice here with some exercises. Okay, so what you need to do here is to complete the following sentences using the right verb forms. So as you can appreciate, we have here 3 different statements. As the instruction says, we need to use the correct verb form, right? Okay, so let's take a look, guys, at number 1. It says, if I to Italy next week for work, I the Coliseum. Alright. So if you are a good observer, you are going to notice that here we have the if word. And if you have the if word, so then we are talking about the if clause, right? Okay, so then what are the answers here? If you have the if clause first. Correct. If I go to Italy next week for work, I will visit the Coliseum. Very good. Nice job, guys. Now, take a look at number 2. Once again, we have the if word, so this is the if clause, right? The structure is repeated, huh? Okay, so what are the answers? One more time. Splendid. Sure. Okay, if I have time tomorrow, I will help you. Okay. And what about the last one, number 3? Okay, take a look once again, the if word. So this is, the if clause. Sure, okay, there it is. If it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. Mhm. So as I said before, guys, take a look. All of these first clauses, no? If I go to Italy next week for work, if I have time tomorrow, if it rains tomorrow, all of them are what? The famous if clauses. In other words, the clauses in which we have the conditions. And if we are talking about this clause, then you know that we need to use the present simple. Okay, so if we have here the if clauses, then the other clauses are what? Great, the main clauses. In other words, these clauses in which we can find the results. And if we talked about those results, you know that we have to use the future simple. Okay, well done. There's something else, guys, that I want you to check over here, and that all of these sentences share. What is it? Have you found it? Okay, yeah, alright, the use of a comma. And teacher, why? Okay, because as I said, we have first the if clause and then the main clause. If we have the condition first and the result, let's say, as the second clause, we need to use the comma obligatorily. Very good. Okay, guys, now let's practice with the last example we saw from the previous slide. You must remember just by taking a look at this picture. Do you recall? Okay, kind of. Okay, so then we're gonna say, no, remember, if it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. No? Remember that we had first the condition and then the result. No? The if clause first and the main clause as the second clause. Okay. And take a look. No, we are using a comma because of that reason. No? Because first we had the condition, we have here the condition, and then the result. What happens, guys, if I want to change the order? Let's say if I want to have first the result, and then I want to have a condition. So definitely the order is going to change, right? So then we will say, we will stay home if it rains tomorrow. But something else, guys, has changed. Can you tell me? Yeah, okay, it's written here in red. No, very good. The use of the comma. So if you have, I repeat, the condition first and then the result, you need a comma obligatorily. But if you have the result first and then the condition, there's no comma. Okay? Well done. Okay, now let's continue working, guys, with that example. So remember that we had this statement in the previous slide. If it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. What if I want to formulate, guys, a yes no question using this statement? What should I do? Okay, it's easy. First, let's identify. No, you must remember, guys, that this is the if clause and that this is the main clause. If you want to ask a yes no question using this sentence, so then you are going to change the order. No? First, take a look. You are going to have the main clause, but you will have first will, then the subject, then the verb in the base form. Will we stay home? And then comes the if clause. If it rains tomorrow? What about the answers? Okay, take a look. This is a question. Will we stay home if it rains tomorrow? As this is a yes no question, then we have two possible answers. We may say yes we will, or no we won't, based on the subject we have in this question. which is in this case, okay, very good. What if I want to formulate a WH question? What can I do? Okay, take a look, guys. So remember this yes no question from the previous slide. Will we stay home if it rains tomorrow? Okay, the only thing we are going to add to this yes no question is the WH word. Take a look. So then we might ask, why will we stay home if it rains tomorrow? Okay, so this time, this WH question is asking us for the reason why. Okay, I'm gonna say because we won't get sick. Like this, right? Okay, so if you want to formulate a WH question using the phrase conditional, you just have to add a WH word to your yes no question. Okay, that's it. Okay, guys, we're about to finish. So just to continue reinforcing what we have recently studied, I'm going to leave you this piece of homework. So you have to complete activity G on page 103 from unit number 8. Here you have this activity and it is telling you to complete these statements with the right form of the verbs in parentheses. Just to give you an example, I'm going to help you with number 1. Okay, so let's take a look at it. It says, polar bears lose, okay, that's the first verb, their habitat if the sea ice, and then we have melt. Okay, so if you get to see well here, guys, we have the if word. So if we have there the if word, what is coming after the if word is going to be what? The condition, no? In other words, we have here the if clause. Alright, if we have there the if clause, what will, let's say, the clause over here be? That one over here, take a look. Polar bears, okay, their habitat. What is it? Yes, okay, correct, guys, well done. Now, polar bears will lose their habitat. Teacher, why? Because this is the main clause. Okay, and then we had, remember, the if clause, so this will be if the sea ice melts. Okay, so that's the example, guys. Polar bears will lose their habitat if the sea ice melts. So that's the way you need to work on the next sentences. Okay, you need to analyze, that way. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna check the answers in class. All right, guys. As you can appreciate, we have already finished. Thank you so much for staying until now. Don't forget to continue studying, continue practicing. I will see you in a different video. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.